YouTubers, it's Patti with Better Living with Patti. I'm coming to you from our living room. I'm usually riding around in the villages and showing you what we've discovered new in the villages, and maybe the middle of the end of this week we'll do that, because we took a ride up to Bellevue today and it's unbelievable what's going on. So in the middle of a thunder shower I'm doing this. I'm going to talk about April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. I know it's past, and Richard gave me permission to do one today, which would be Thursday, which normally is my day. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you this story. It's pretty funny. It happened in 2005. We were building a house up in St. Thomas, Pennsylvania. I had to think of where we were building the house, because I never moved so much in my life as I did when I turned 47 till now, how many times I've moved. And it's amazing. We stayed at one place for 47 years of my life. And then we had a house built in Pennsylvania in a little village. I call it a village, Richard calls it a town. It was no bigger than, it was a very small town. It was 500 people, and most of them were farmers, and they were cattle farmers. So we're building this house, and they couldn't lay the foundation. There's going to be a little trouble with the cats, because every time I get on, the cats start trouble. And it's Opie that starts the trouble. So anyway, they couldn't pour the foundation for the longest time, because we had purchased the house. Well, wait a minute. We had purchased the house in 2005, but they couldn't pour this foundation until 2000. No, we purchased the house in 2004. They couldn't do the foundation to 2005, and we moved in 2005. Right? No. How'd that work? We moved in 2005. Yes, of July of 2005. I'm sorry, it's just a little foggy. Anyway, so they poured the foundation. To pour cement, because they use cement for foundation, the temperature had to be above 38 degrees for a good solid week. So that year was a crazy year. There was ice, there was snow, there was rain, there was ice, there was snow. So the end of March, there was a whole solid 7 days that the temperature was above 40. So they poured the foundation on the last week of March. So on April 1st, the guy, Jim, calls me up and says, your foundation is poured. We're going to start the framework out this week. So the reason he used to call all the time, or I call him, is my father used to always say, call Jim, see how the house is going. So I said, okay, thank you, Jim. So I got off the phone, and just before that, we knew the foundation was going to be poured. So Richard, Mom, and I said, let's play a prank on Dad. He always gets us. Let's get one on him. So with that, we came up with the idea that since the foundation was poured, we'd tell them that they poured the wrong foundation. So the morning of April 1st, it was about 8:30, and we were supposed to go up to the house. So we're waiting for Richard. We had a one bathroom at that point. So we're waiting for Richard. Of course, Richard was the last one in the bathroom. And that really aggravated Dad, because Dad, got up. He was a truck driver. He'd get up and go and be gone by 6 or 7, and I'd be the same way. Mom and Richard would la-di-da. So anyway, it was the time when Richard took a long shower. Anyway, so Mom says to my father, Dick, we got something to tell you, but Patti doesn't know how to tell you, so she told me to tell you. But what's wrong? What's wrong with the house? What's wrong with the house? She said, well, Jim called, and no, don't get upset. It's nobody's fault. Don't get upset. But she says, we're going to wait till Richard comes down so we can just discuss it as a family. No, he's going to be an hour, Janet. So he was getting hotter and hotter under the collar. And so finally Richard comes down after the hour. La-di-da-da. Comes, sits on the couch. And Mom says to him, we have to talk about something. Jim called Patti. So my father goes, just tell us. He was like pacing the floor, like he was waiting for someone to have a baby, pace back and forth. So finally Mom says, well, sit down, Dick. I'll tell you what it is. So she looks at him and she, right straight face, says to him, well, Dick, Patti doesn't want to tell you, but they poured the wrong foundation. Instead of a redwood foundation, they poured a sequoia foundation. Now, I know you people wouldn't understand it, but the redwood was the master bedroom. And the only reason we bought this house was the master bedroom was on the first floor, then the living room, then a sunken living room, and then a dining room, kitchen, and formal living room. And then upstairs was 4 bedrooms. Every bedroom had almost their own bathroom. We had 5-bedroom. I'm counting the bathrooms. 4.5 or 5.5 baths. I can't remember. And anyway, so that's what Dad and Mom wanted. So that's what we went with. So he got so hot. He goes, call Jim back and tell him we're on our way up there. Blah, blah, blah. He was really going and everything. So she said, well, Dick, they poured a sequoia. And he goes, a sequoia? They're going to have to rip that foundation up. Janet, they're going to just have to rip that foundation up. I don't want a sequoia because the sequoia, the master bedroom was upstairs. And at that point, Mom couldn't go up and down the stairs. And so basically, that's why we were getting rid of 17 Main Street, because Mom couldn't sleep upstairs. She always slept downstairs. So with that, Mom, we're all starting to laugh. And he goes, what's so funny? Nothing's funny about this. This is going to cost a lot of money. We're not paying a cent. So now you know where Richard gets his cheapness from. So anyway, we said to him, my mother says to him, Dick, what day is it? And he goes, and he looked at the calendar and he goes, oh, it's April Fool's Day. And we all go, April Fool's, Dad. And he says, well, did they pour the foundation or not? We said, yeah, they poured it for a redwood. He goes, I'll get you all, he said. But my father was a practical, he was a joker. He really was. He used to pull jokes all the time. One time he was in Boy Scouts and there was his committee, they went up to Alamucci and he was a scoutmaster and all his assistant scoutmasters and a committee man went up there with him for some kind of meeting. I guess it was for summer camp. So what my father did was he snuck around. He said to them, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he snuck around and went into this other guy's car and he hunched down as far as he could in the back seat. And he left with that guy and came home. Well, my father's committee the committee men were one cop and a couple really big guys and everything. So they were tearing the whole thing apart. They almost called the police. And this was before cell phones, so they couldn't call Mom and say, is Dick home? So they came all the way home, and here's the cop come in, and he says, Janet, is Dick home? And there's my father laughing hysterically, and I think Mr. Brackett could have wrung my father's neck at that point. And my father said, I played a trick on yous. My father was a trickster, and everybody wanted to go on vacation with my father because they thought he was like a really cool guy. But he always did tricksters. But we got one up on him that year. So that's my story about April Fool's Day. Every April Fool's we think of that because it was pretty funny. I mean, you know, here he was trying to build a house, a real nice house, and it was the first house they ever built, and it was brand new when they bought it. So basically, he wanted to be perfect, and I understand all that, but it was just funny the way it happened. So without further ado, I'm going to say goodbye from Better Living with Patti. And stay safe, stay healthy, stay informed. So we'll see you later. Bye.